All right, fam. So let's talk about why I left the US for good. 9 lessons I learned from living overseas for 9 years. And in this video, I'm going to talk about 9 powerful lessons that I learned from my life overseas. If you're new to the channel, I'm Ronnie. Hello. I'm a 9-year expat and I've lived overseas in China and in Australia. And I've traveled to multiple countries as well. I left the States teaching ESL, and I still teach ESL to professional adults online. I also pet sit and I do digital marketing. Okay, I help small business owners and entrepreneurs with their memberships, customer service, copywriting. Click the link in the description below for more information on that. But let's get into the video. All right, so if you see me looking down, I have a few notes just so I don't forget anything. All right, so number 1, 9 lessons I learned from 9 years of living abroad. You have more choices than you think. And what I mean by that is the first time I went overseas, the first time I went to Paris, I discovered that people over there live completely different lives from the way I was living in the US. First of all, there wasn't like such a heavy hustle culture, right? For example, the French, they take their time eating, okay? They take their time enjoying their food. They take nice long lunch breaks. And that was kind of fascinating to me. Also, I loved their language, the architecture of the buildings, the fashion, the whole bit. It was so different. So that taught me that there's different ways of living on this planet. And as I've said before, I've been to like multiple different countries, so I know that you can choose the lifestyle that you want, whether you want to speak another language, or whether you want to live near the beach, or you want to live a more laid-back lifestyle, or whatever you're looking for. It's out there, okay? It's kind of like when you travel, you go into different worlds. It's like you step into different worlds, different ways of being, and you find your place based on how you feel. If the place resonates with you, whether the people, it's like when you find a really good place, when you find your place, you'll start to attract things. Things will just kind of flow. You'll be in flow. You're just living, and you'll meet the right people, and you'll have great experiences, and everything will just feel so flowy. It's like when I was in China, I felt like I was floating. So, all right, so let's move on to the next point. All right, so expat life ain't easy, but worth it. And that is the God's honest truth. This life is not an easy life because you have to think about it. It's like when you go in the military and you go to boot camp and you're stripped of everything you have, everything you are, right? And then they just give you those BDUs and they just call you by your last name. And it's like you have to really sit with yourself and think, who are you now? Who are you now that you don't have your friends? You don't have your family? You don't have the comforts of home that you're used to. Who are you? And that's how it is. You don't have those comforts of home. You don't have that cushion. And so you really have the opportunity to discover who you really are, what you really like, and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's not easy though, because there's a lot of struggles that you might go through, that you will go through. It's just life. Whether you stay home or whether you move overseas, you're going to go through struggles. When traveling with a spouse, things change. All right, this one, it's like this. When you move overseas with your family, you're going to be a different person. Your spouse will be a different person. Your child will be a different person. Now, I moved over with my family. My son, he went to school, he met friends, and he pretty much adapted quicker than both of us did. He was just on his way. Me, I struggled a lot. And, we moved to Australia, and my husband's from Australia. He had a serious case of culture shock, reverse culture shock. because he spent so many years in the US. Once he returned back to Australia, it's almost like he had a hard time finding his footing. Like, who am I now and what's going on? And that was so stressful. Okay. Type in the comments below if you want to know more about that story. Maybe you're a couple and you're thinking about moving overseas. The best thing to do is to travel around to different places. If you think you find some place you like, maybe travel there twice, 3 times before you pick up your whole life and move. Okay? Because we didn't do that, and I'm telling you, you suffered for it. So if you're interested to learn more about that, type in the comments, tell me more. I'll know that you're talking about this situation. Reverse culture shock and moving overseas with your spouse. Very difficult. I'm being completely transparent. I didn't think we were going to make it, seriously. It was like that bad. But, we made it, so. Favor is on the other side of fear. Let me tell you. Okay. Oh, one of the scariest decisions I've made in my life was moving to China. Oh my God. I was like, you can't even imagine the thoughts that I was thinking. I was like, what if they look at me and they see dark meat and they're like, yeah, whatever. And somebody knocks me out and then chops me up and puts me in a wok and, just spins me around or whatever and pouring grease all on my body. Like, I was thinking crazy thoughts. Honestly. Okay, my mind was out there. I was so scared. Like, I had 3 days where I honestly didn't sleep well. I felt like I was in a haze for 3 days. That never happened to me. I never felt that level of fear. But, I got on the plane, and what got me on the plane was I had my FU money. If, this thing turns out to be, a scam or what have you, then I'll just turn around. But it actually happened to be one of the best experiences I've had. I grew so much as a person. I met some great friends. I still have some close friends to this day. So yeah, it worked out. But I cringe when I think about the fact that what if I didn't get on that plane? What if I let fear win? What if I let fear win? I'd be a loser today. I cook now. Like, I didn't cook before because I found out that I love vegetables. Where did I find that out? Over there. I found out I love vegetables and I know how to make it. I look at YouTube videos, and if there's a certain dish I want to make, I go ahead, look at the video, then make it. And I make it for my family. Listen, I wouldn't be the person. I wouldn't know that, I enjoy learning languages. I wouldn't know that if I didn't go. And I wouldn't have really important friendships, man, if I didn't get out there and go. All right? You don't know what's on the other side of fear. So feel the fear. I'm not the one to tell anybody not to feel fear or not to be scared, because you're a human being and you're supposed to feel fear of the unknown, right? But the thing is to just do it anyway and see what happens. Because with me, I'm very curious. So my curiosity always kinds of wins out, right? I'm just like, I'm scared, but what if? I don't know. I'm just that type of person. So favor is on the other side of fear for sure. Don't run from problems, run towards opportunity. So yeah, this is important because I left the States mainly to live an expat life. I've traveled to so many different countries up until that point, and I just wanted to continue with that. I've lived in the States all my life, obviously, born and raised there. I'm from North Jersey, and I traveled all down Jersey, DC, the South, lived on the West Coast, and traveled around Midwest a little bit. But it's like, all right, I've done this, and I'm ready for something different. I'm ready for different opportunities. So that was the initial reason why I left. You'll learn more about your country when you leave. This is a big one. What I learned about my country after I left, I'm not proud of. I'm just going to be real with you. I was ignorant. Like, I lived in the States, but I was kind of ignorant. I didn't know about redlining. I didn't know about the Willie Lynch letters. I didn't know about a lot of things. You know, it's like I just kind of was in my world and doing what I had to do. And I mean, truth be told, like, I had a good time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I went through struggles in my life, but it had nothing to do with like a cop being in my face, right? Like when I was younger, yeah, cops would come up to me and talk to me and want my number, yeah. But I didn't have any like racial issues, you know, like direct racial issues, like getting stopped or anything like that. I didn't have any of that. And there's just a lot of things that I did not know about my country. So that's why I haven't been back. George Floyd, I don't have to say anything more. I don't need any other names. Now, I'm the type of person I like to shed light on people. You know, I like to be a light to others. I like to be an inspiration and motivation to others. So, of course, I did not watch that video. I did not watch that video because I knew what that would do to my psyche. And I'm not the one hating on people that don't look like me. You feel me? That's not where I'm at. That's not why I made this channel. It's not about that. But you have to be discerning, very discerning on the spirit inside of a person. Okay? This is what I look for. Like, who are you? I see your avatar, but who are you? And so that's how I look at people. That's how I read them. And that's how I judge people. You know, not judge them, but just that's how I know whether to mess with you or to leave you alone. What's your spirit? How do I check that out? Eyes, body language. I don't know. I've just always had the ability to see past what people say. Like, they can be acting one way and saying one thing, but I always see the truth. When I was younger, I had that ability, but I just kind of, you know how when you grow up, you have certain abilities, but then, I don't know, you downplay them. You just kind of put them to the side. Well, that's not the situation anymore. All right. I know that what I see and what I sense, what my third eye sees, is the truth. So I use that ability. You know, I use that to judge a good person from someone who's not. You know, people who are lying and all of that, they're shifty. I can just tell easily. You'll discover yourself when you leave, and this is the God's honest truth. You'll really learn about who you are, what you like, what you dislike, what your values are when you leave. Now, the reason for that is because you will be alone a lot of the time. And it's during that time where you can kind of like really sit back, think, write, and reflect on your life and your experience. I found out that, you know, it's like I'm an extrovert introvert, right? It's like I like being around people. I love meeting new people. I love learning about different cultures and eating different foods and just kind of being out there and being very social. But I also need my alone time. Like afterwards, after I'm out and talking to people, then I need to like come in and just kind of gather my energy. And that's just how I am. So you'll definitely discover who you are and your talents. When I was in China teaching university students, in a class of like over 70 students, the first time that happened, which was like my first class, had a mini heart attack. Like I turned towards the board and I was just like, okay, 1, 2, 3, you know, and I had to just kind of count down 1, 2, 3. And then I turned around and, you know, did what I had to do and had a great class. But it was scary. It was scary because one of the biggest fears that I've had all my life was public speaking. Health is a priority. The US, we all know that the food is trash, okay? The food is trash. That's all I can say. Like, even when I started traveling in 2007 internationally, it's like I would lose weight every time I went over. And then when I would return, I'd gain that weight back, gain it right back. I'd leave again, lose, come back, gain. Leave again, lose, come back, gain. You know, seesaw. That taught me that there's something really wrong with the foods. Also, you know, I couldn't eat apples in the States. But if I go anywhere else around the world, I can eat apples with no problem. That told me that there's a problem with the food in the States, a big one. And now, you know, we really know that the food is trash. And that's it. And that's another reason why I haven't been back, because it's like, what am I going to eat? Those are the 9 reasons, or the 9 lessons I've learned from 9 years of living abroad, and why I haven't been back since. So thank you for watching this video, and if you like what you see and you're feeling the vibe, then subscribe and join the tribe. Hit the notification bell so you know when I'm coming out with more videos. I will be coming out with more videos consistently. I won't do so much editing because that takes a lot of time, but I want to get videos out on a more consistent basis. So anyway, I send love to you, fam. Leave a comment below and let me know what lessons you've learned living abroad. Or if you haven't moved abroad yet, and if you have a question about this video, leave your question in the comments and I'll get back to you. Until then, this is Ronnie Light signing off, and always remember to go where you glow.